What's up, everyone? This is FPSticks, bringing you guys a quick set of 3 ferocious battles I did with one of my friends, Trident Vision, from the Go Stadium Discord. I'm leading Nidoqueen here against his Raichu. This is a positive matchup because of my ground typing and my poison typing. I'm going to be able to resist everything the Raichu throws at me. He switches out into Bibarel. Luckily, I have my mine in there. So I'll be able to do super effective damage to him. This Ferocious Cup has really been throwing me for a loop. I'm constantly going back and forth on what Pokemon I should have in my team, and there's just so many intricate matchups within this cup that's still pretty confusing to me. But just trying to practice as much as I can and get a feel for all these different typings. I shield that Surf. I want to keep this mining in and take out this Bibarel. Throw my Discharge there, and it takes out the Bibarel. He comes in with the Alolan Ninetales, which is definitely going to be one of the top picks in this cup, but that is why I have my Nidoqueen in here. Going for the Earth Power, just in case if it does get shielded, I could possibly still get the defense debuff. He shields it. I don't get the buff. That's perfectly okay. These poison jabs are doing a decent amount of damage. This Psyshock is going to hurt. So I do end up using my shield right there. Get a little bit more energy. And at this point, I switch into my own Alolan Ninetales because I know I can feign it down with fast moves and get a little bit of energy. He comes back in with that Raichu. This is either going to be a break or a wild charge, and he ends up wild charging me, which totally takes me out. Luckily, again, I had the Nidoqueen with an Earth Power already stored up, so this is definitely going to take out the Raichu. End up winning that first match, but there's just so much going on with this cup. I do not have a good feel for any part of it yet. Still trying out different lineups, different teams, trying to practice as much as I can. I've been trying out Nidoqueen a bunch because it definitely seems to be being hyped up a bunch on YouTube and on the Go Stadium Discord. I know Nidoqueen is weak to water types, so I like to have my Minun in there or my Lanoon to take care of those water types. He leads with Bibarel. I switched up my lead this time and I led with the Alolan Ninetales. So I just decided to switch straight into the Minun, even though that first matchup still would have been alright. Alolan Ninetales with that charm damage is obnoxious. This is one instance where I think Minun is better than Lanoon. It's against this matchup. Lanoon's Shadow Claw damage is very minimal against Skuntank. And that Grass Knot is going to be resisted because of the poison typing. Throwing these charge moves here. Skuntank seems to be a very decent switch-in this cup. When it starts getting an energy advantage, those crunches, other than against an Umbreon, are really going to hit for a good amount of damage. And those poison jabs charge it up pretty fast. He ends up taking out my Minun with his Alolan Ninetales there, but I still have that Nidoqueen, which is great. Waiting out the timer a little bit. And I bring in the Nidoqueen, just farming down with poison jabs. There's that Bibarel again. I got my Alolan Ninetales, which this was the first matchup of the match. Coming back again. Bibarel's Surfs do a decent amount of damage to Alolan Ninetales. I feel like Alolan Ninetales is one of those Pokemon where you might need to commit some shields to really get its full use out of that charm damage. And this is pretty much a wrap. Nidoqueen is a good counter to Alolan Ninetales. I'm going to need to shield the Psyshock though. But again, these poison jabs are going to be doing good damage. His shields are completely down, so I could go for any charge move at this point. I'm running Earth Power and Stone Edge on my Nidoqueen purely because I am out of charge TMs. Freaking Niantic does not like to give me charge TMs very often from raids, so I am completely out. and this is what I end up having to roll with. I guess Stone Edge is pretty nice. If you're in that matchup against Alolan Ninetales there at the end and shields are down, you can do significant damage with that Stone Edge, but really just using Nidoqueen for that Poison Jab and Earth Power. So this time I'm pairing my Nidoqueen with Lanoon and Umbreon. You can see in his team lineup there on the screen that he's actually rocking double charm users with Alolan Ninetales and Delcatty. There's one of his Charmers right there, so I got to get out of there, switch into my Nidoqueen. But Delcatty is a normal type, and so I know my Lanoon, also in my line of 3, is not going to be doing very much damage with the Shadow Claws. His Barrel is in here, which is a very good counter against my Nidoqueen. At this point, I just let Nidoqueen go. I didn't feel like I could get to an Earth Power fast enough to justify using a shield. And at this point, bring back in the Umbreon. With that move update to Snarl, you get to these foul plays so quickly. Super nice. Umbreon is definitely one of the top picks in this Ferocious Cup. And then you essentially build a team around countering that and then countering those counters. There's that Delcatty again with Charm. He makes a good switch and makes me burn that foul play. In comes Lanoon, and these Shadow Claws are just hardly doing anything. The normal typing of Delcatty double resist those Shadow Claws. Throw the Grass Knot here, ends up shielding it. I do not know what his third Pokemon is yet in the back, and I'm down to just my Lanoon and my Umbreon. Ooh, really wanted that Grass Knot, but he fanned me out. So I'm down to this Umbreon. Throw the foul play. This should take out the Delcatty. Yep. And he's got another Charmer in the back. So here I am sitting with a shield still, and it is already game over. This Last Resort is only going to do like 33% damage. And that was game 3. So thank you, Trident Vision, for the battles. I still feel like I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing with this cup, but trying to practice as much as I can and produce some videos for you guys. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.